You're watching Friday Night Lights, sponsored by Jack in the Box.
Welcome back. Well, if you missed any of tonight's highlights, allow us to get you caught up with tonight's FNL final scoreboard, that is. A lot of games happening, Rob. A lot of points being put on the board tonight. The first one we got to talk about is Yuma Catholic and Cortez, holding them to 0, but let alone putting up 84.
Can you tell they really want another state title? Can you tell?
They're hungry and they're on their way to it.
They're making a point. They really are. That they're a force to be reckoned with, and however the state tournament gets bracketed, I would be concerned if I were having to play them.
Cortez is a Phoenix team. We can't sleep on them, but they might have shown up and been asleep tonight. I'm not sure.
Absolutely.
Cibola, 53 points over Yuma. But I do want to highlight, Bo Siebel got his first win last week and is able to put up 28 points tonight. I don't think we need to discourage the Criminals because they still managed to have an offensive fight. The defense may need a little work.
Absolutely, and they're going to get a tough test next week in their rematch against Gila Ridge. Speaking of which, another clinic for the Hawks.
I
don't know what else to say.
They have so many weapons, and honestly, their offense and defense. It's both. They're just a machine, and a well-oiled machine, that is. And 51 points, holding them to 0, definitely shows it. Antelope tonight, though, and they're ones that, honestly, I like to see. Yes, they 28-21 against Heritage Academy. They've had such a rough season, so I just think that is a good win for them, especially to open up their home opener.
Absolutely, and they got a couple games left. Maybe they can get another do-over game later on and potentially get in the playoffs. Right now, that's pretty risky, but we'll see how that all fares. All right, we now come to the part of our program where Brando and myself give our special recognition to the players, position group, or even teams that stood out from the rest tonight. So, Brando, who's getting your helmet prop?
Well, it's going to sound like I'm echoing what we just said because it's the Antelope Rams. I got to give it to them. There's many reasons for it, Rob. We talked about it. They had a rough week 1. We understand that. But they only had 2 weeks of practice. 2 weeks of practice then. Last week their game got canceled. I know they were bummed about it, but they came out tonight on their home opener. Were able to take the win against Heritage Academy. And all in all, you said it may be tough to get that playoff run, but it's not out of the question. You know, I saw a lot of great things on their offense, and I think we'll continue to watch, and hopefully they can continue to develop. That's why they have my helmet prop tonight.
That is definitely a good one. As for me, Brando, Richard Stallworth, he got mine a couple of weeks back, but he's practically been a machine as of late. I mean, tonight, that's first half stats.
Wait a minute. I didn't notice that when we were coming into the show, but now I'm seeing 8 touchdowns in the first half?
In the first half. 428 yards, 8 touchdowns. And get this, he's probably got about 2,000 yards passing just in the last 3 weeks. The kid is just stellar, and he's only a sophomore. He's going to be a YC Shamrock for another 2 years. So
I gotta throw this
I'm
out.
just blown away by this.
Yeah, no, and I got to throw this out there real quick. How neat would it be to see Yuma Catholic play Gila Ridge? I wish it could happen. I know it's not possible, but these two teams are just so much fun to watch, and stats like that, man, they only speak for themselves. Well deserved there.
That would be a fun game indeed. Well, here's a first look at our week number 5 lineup of FNL. We got a trio of contests on the docket, all headlined by our marquee matchup between the Cibola Raiders and the Kofa Kings. Of course, as always, we invite you to join us for next week's program.
Well, folks, we leave you tonight with our Jack in the Box play of the week. This one coming from Yuma Catholic tonight in the first quarter as the Shamrocks look to tack on another touchdown. That's Jonah Leone, who's just going to put it right in the end zone. Now, Richard Stallworth, with that nice pass, not only going to connect with him, but gets through a couple of those Colts. I just like what I'm seeing. Overall, I think a lot of their plays tonight could have been a play of the week contender. Their game tonight was spectacular. A well-executed one there. Right?
Absolutely. That's just 40 of the 438 yards or so that's
one of 8 touchdowns from...
Yeah. This is like a game of Madden.
We can't make it up, and you're absolutely right. I can't even do that good in Madden.
All right.
We'll leave it at that, folks. Thank you so much for joining me. As always, I'm Brandon Mejia.
Have a good night, folks.